Greetings and welcome. I'm Dr. Arun, Associate Professor, Department of Mathematics, Science Institute of Technology. Dear students, in this video, I'll be explaining one of the basic and the most important concept of linear algebra, that is the rank of a matrix. So to begin with, I will explain what you mean by an echelon form. So which is a very important concept in solving a problem on rank of a matrix. So let us discuss what is echelon form. The given matrix A is said to be in echelon form if it satisfies a set of conditions defined as follows. The first condition is the leading entry of each row is a non-zero element. The second condition says the elements below the leading entry are 0. The third condition says the number of zeros in each row is more than its previous row. And the last condition says all the zero rows are below the non-zero rows, and this is an optional condition. So any given matrix A satisfies these set of conditions, especially the first three conditions, is said to be in echelon form. So for example, so just look at this matrix. I'll consider this. See here, the leading entry means, see in the first row, it is a first row first element, that is this 2, A11 element. For the second row, the leading entry is A22 element. And for third row, it is A33. That means these are the elements of principal diagonal. So the leading entries are non-zero. And you can observe that the elements below the leading entry are zeros here. See, this is the leading entry. Below this, we have 0. And for second row, this is the leading entry. Below this, we have 0. And here below this, there is no row, so we can neglect it. And third condition says the number of zeros in each row is more than its previous row. That means if you look at the third row, here we have 2 zeros. Its previous one, I mean second row, we have only 1 0. So the number of zeros in third row is greater than its previous row, that is second row. So it satisfies the third condition. And this condition will not exist for this matrix here. Okay, so if you look at this, this matrix satisfies the three conditions, the most important three conditions of echelon form. So I can conclude that this matrix is in echelon form. Or in other words, I can say row reduced echelon form. So any matrix which is in this form is known as an echelon form matrix. In other words, the echelon form matrix can be defined in one line like this. See, echelon form implies all elements below principal diagonal are 0. So this is the matrix and this is the principal diagonal of the matrix. And you can observe that the elements below this principal diagonal are all zeros. So any matrix which is in this form, that means a matrix in which the elements below the principal diagonal are 0, we can call it as an echelon form matrix. So this is how we can define our echelon form, right? So this is the most important concept in finding a rank of a matrix. So after this echelon form, so let us define what is a rank now. Rank of a matrix. We will see how to find the rank. Rank of a matrix. Say rank of a matrix denoted by row of A. This is the symbolic representation of rank of a matrix, is equal to the number of non-zero rows in the echelon form matrix. So the rank of a matrix will be calculated like this, which is nothing but the number of non-zero rows in echelon form matrix. For example, in this matrix, this is an echelon form matrix. You can count there are 3 non-zero rows. See, non-zero rows means in a row at least one element should be there. So this is the row in which only one element is there, -1 is there, other two are zeros. So you can consider it as non-zero. And even this is also a non-zero row because there are 2 elements here which are non-zero. And this is a one more row we got. So this echelon form matrix has 3 non-zero rows. So I can say that the rank of this matrix is 3. So this is the way of finding the rank of a given matrix. That means we can reduce the given matrix to echelon form by applying the row transformations, which we already know. We can bring it to this form. And after that, we can count how many non-zero rows we have in that matrix. So that number of non-zero rows is a rank. So let us understand this concept in detail by solving some problems. Let us start with first problem. Find the rank of a matrix A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 4. So this is the matrix given. So let us calculate the rank of this. First, I'll take a given matrix. A is equal to this. Now my aim is I should reduce this matrix to echelon form. So to reduce this matrix to echelon form, you know, this matrix should be reduced to this form. The leading entry of each row non-zero element below the leading entries are zeros, like that. Or in other words, you have to make elements below the principal diagonal. See, this is the principal diagonal 1, 3, 4. So the elements below the principal diagonal means this 2, 1, and 3. You should make these 3 elements zeros using the row transformations. If I do that, I get an echelon form matrix. So let us see how to do that. First, see, first row, first element we will check. This is the leading entry of first row. So this should be non-zero. So this is already non-zero. So I'll keep the first row as it is. And in the first step, I'll make the elements below this leading entry. That means the elements of the first column below this one. That is 2 and 1. So let us make these 2 elements 0 by operating these 2 rows, R2 and R3, with R1. So what we can do? See, here we have 2. Here we have 1. To make this element 0 using this R1 element, I can use a transformation like this. Let us multiply this by 2. So 2 into 1, 2. So you get 2, 2. Let us subtract these 2. Or I can do this, minus 2 into 1, see, minus 2 R1 plus R2. So minus 2 into 1 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2, it becomes 0. So this is the operation I'm going to use to make this element 0 here. Let us apply the same operation for all other elements. Similarly, to make this element 0, so I have to operate this with R1 element. And here we have 1 and here also we have 1. So I can use the transformation like this, just subtraction. R1 minus R3, or I can write minus R1 plus R3. So if I do this operation, say I'm writing first row as it is. See, if I do this operation, say 2 minus 2, 0. And here minus 2 into 2, minus 4. Minus 4 plus 3, we get minus 1. And this is minus 2 into this element, 3, R1. So minus 2 into 3 is minus 6. Minus 6 plus 5, minus 1. And again here, minus 2 into 2, minus 4. Minus 4 plus 1, we get minus 2. So let us apply this transformation for all the elements of second row. Similarly, using this transformation for the third row, So this is minus R1 plus R3. See, minus 1 plus 1, 0. So this becomes minus R1, means you get minus 2 here, minus 2 plus this element, 3. So it is 1. Next, this is minus 3 plus 4, get 1. This is minus 2 plus 5, get 3. So this is the first stage here, right? So the leading entry is non-zero element, element below the leading entry are zeros. Now we'll go to next step. See, first row is over. We'll concentrate on second row. So now the second row, second element is a leading entry, that is minus 1. So this is non-zero. So by keeping this row as it is, we'll make element below this leading entry 0. That means this. So this is equivalent. So what is the transformation I can use? See here, to make this element 0 by operating with its previous row, R2. So what we can do? So this is minus 1 and this is plus 1. Just add these two. So minus 1 plus 1 becomes 0. So that element below the leading entry becomes 0. So let us use our operation. R3 is R2 plus R3. So we get A is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 2. So second row I'll keep it as it is 0, minus 1, minus 1, minus 3. And this one, if I add simply 0 plus 0, 0, minus 1 plus 1, 0, minus 1 plus 1, again 0, minus 3 plus 3, 0. Right? So this is the 0 row. If you leave the 0 row on C, this is the principal diagonal here, and you can observe that the element below the principal diagonal are zeros. So a matrix of this form is called as echelon form matrix. So the given matrix using row operation reduces to echelon form. So let us call it as 1. Now see, thus the matrix 1 is in echelon form. And how many non-zero rows we have here? See, this is a 0 row, completely 0, leave it. So by leaving this, if we count, there are 2 non-zero rows. So hence the rank of a matrix is 2. So this is how we can find the rank of a matrix. Similarly, let us take one more problem. Second one, find the rank of a matrix. A is equal to 0, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 4, 4, 8, 13, 12. So this is a given matrix. Now, you know how to reduce this to echelon form first, then count the number of non-zero rows, we get the rank. Now, first, to reduce it to echelon form, the procedure says the leading entry of a row should be non-zero. See, we are starting here. I mean, first step we are doing. You know, in the first step, I'm concentrating only on the first row. So this is the first row. And according to the procedure of echelon form, the leading entry of a first row means the first element should not be 0. But here you can observe that we have 0. So first row, first element should not be 0. So since we have 0, let us bring a non-zero element to this place by interchanging any 2 rows. I will interchange like this. R1 interchange it by R2. I mean, second row I'll write first row I'll write the second place. We get this. See, 2, 3, 5, 4 written as first row, 0, 2, 3, 4 written as second row, and third row kept as it is. Now this is the leading entry in the first stage. So according to the procedure, the element below this leading entry must be 0. I mean, this element and this element, the elements of the first column should be 0 here. So this is already 0. So I want to make this element, that is 4, 0 by operating this row with R1. See, in the first stage, you have to operate with R1 only. Now, so what we can do, see, this is 4. Here we have 2. Let us multiply this by 2. So 2 2s are 4. Subtract 2 minus 4 minus 4. It becomes 0. So let us use this operation. R3 implies I'll multiply this by minus 2. Minus 2 R1 plus R3. Minus 2 into this minus 2. Sorry, 2 into minus 2. Minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4. 0. So this element becomes 0. Let us use this transformation to change this. So A is equivalent to, see, 2, 3, 5, 4 was written as it is. 0, 2, 3, 4. And if you apply this transformation, see, multiply the first row by minus 2. So here minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4, 0. Second element, see, 3 into minus 2, minus 6. Minus 6 plus this R3 is 8. Minus 6 plus 8, 2. And this is 5 into minus 2, minus 10. Minus 10 plus 13, 3. This is minus 8 plus 12, 4. So this is the simplified matrix we get. Now the first stage is over. I mean, first element, that is leading entry, is non-zero. Element below the leading entry are zeros. Now we'll move to second stage. So in the second stage, so we concentrate on second row. So that means we will check what is the leading entry of second row. And if that is non-zero, we'll make element below that leading entry 0 using row operations. So the second row leading entry is second element, that is 2. And this is non-zero. So we'll keep first and second rows as it is. And this is leading entry, means element below the leading entry, means below this we have 2. So we have to make this element 0 by operating this row with R2. So what we can do, see, here also we have 2, here also we have 2, just we can subtract. Minus R2 plus R3. I mean, I can multiply this by minus sign, add with third row. See, here minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 will come if you multiply by minus. Add with means same. Minus 2 plus 2, 0. Minus 3 plus 3, 0. Minus 4 plus 4, 0. See, entire row becomes 0. By leaving this, if you see, this is the principal diagonal, and element below the principal diagonal are 0. So any matrix in which the elements below the principal diagonal are 0 means we can call it as an echelon form matrix. And in this, how many non-zero rows will come? See, this is a completely 0 row. Leave this. If you leave this and count, you can observe there are 2 non-zero rows. So the rank is 2. Right? So this is the rank of matrix. This is how we can find the rank of a matrix by using row operations or by reducing it to echelon form by applying row transformations. Now, 3. I'll take one more matrix, 3. So a little bit big matrix will take. Find the rank of a matrix, 2 minus 1 minus 3 minus 1. 1, 2, 3 minus 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 minus. So let us find the rank of this using the same concept. Procedure is same. This is the given matrix here. Now, what is the first step? The leading entry of first row. So in the first step, you have to look at first step, first row. The first row leading entry is first element, 2 we have. It is non-zero. So we'll keep this as it is and we'll make elements below this 0 using row operations. So what are the row operations you can use? See this. To make this 1 0, I'll use this transformation. R1 minus 2 times R2. So I'll multiply this by 2. So I got 2 into 1, 2. See, R1 minus means 2 minus 2, 0. Use this. You can separately write and do it. 2 minus 1 into 2. So it is minus 2. 2 minus 2, 0. And here also same. 1 we have. Let us multiply this by 2. Subtract 2 minus 2, 0. Apply this. See, first row I'm writing as it is 2 minus 1 minus 3 minus 1. If we use this transformation, R1 minus 2 R2, you can write here R1 is 2 minus 1 minus 3 minus 2. See, multiply this by minus 2. So what we get? Minus 2 here. Minus 2 plus 2, 0. And here we get minus 4, minus 4, minus 1. See, minus 5. This by minus 2, minus 2, minus 3. Sorry, minus 6, minus 3, minus 9. This is minus 1 into this minus 2. It is plus 2. 2 minus 1, 1. Now similarly, multiply this by minus 2. Write separately and do it. Minus 2, 0, minus 2, minus 2. Add with this. 2 minus 2, 0. This is minus 1 and this is 0. So get minus 1. Minus 3, you get minus 2. Minus 3, minus 2. Minus 5. This is minus 1 and here minus 2. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And this is already 0. I'll keep that last row as it is so that we can observe that this is the leading entry, means the elements below the leading entry are 0. Right? So this completes your first step. Now we'll move to second step. In second step, as you know, you have to concentrate on second row. That means the second row, second element is the leading entry and it should be non-zero. So you can observe that we have minus 5 here. So this is a non-zero element. So this is the leading entry. So element below the leading entry means this term minus 1 and this one 1. So I should make these two elements 0 using this second row element. So what is the transformation you can use? See, this is R2. R2 is minus 5. And here we have minus 1. Multiply this with minus, because if I simply multiply by 5, then you have to subtract. Or I can multiply by minus 5 here. Minus 5 into minus 1 plus 5. Then add minus 5 plus 5, 0, like that. And here also same operation. See, 1 into 5. See, 5 minus 5 plus 5, 0. So let us use this. Just look at this term. Multiply this element with the term. Add or subtract to make this element 0. So these are the transformations I'll use so that the first two rows, no changes, right as it is. Now apply the transformation for R3 and R4. So what is R3? R2 minus 5 R3. See, both are zeros, leave it. This is R2 minus 5. Minus 1 into this minus 5, it is plus 5. Minus 5 plus 5, 0. And coming to the next term, minus 9 here minus 5. And here minus 5. Minus 5 into minus 5, plus 25. So 25 minus 9, 16. And again here 1, this is minus 3, this is minus 5, minus 5 into minus 3, it is minus into minus, plus 5 into 3, 15. So 1 plus 15, that is again 16. Now similarly, if I use this, multiply this by 5 times R4, see, this is 5, 5 minus 5, add it, minus 5 plus 5, 0. This is 5, no, minus 9 plus 5, minus 4. This is 1, minus 5, minus 4. So this is third step we got. Now, sorry, second step. Now the third step. So in the third step, you know, third row you will concentrate. So the leading entry of the third row is third element. So for the first row, first element, second row, second element, for third row, third element. So this is the leading entry and this should be non-zero. So it's satisfied. We have 16. Now according to the procedure, the element below this leading entry, this is the leading entry now. So below this should be 0, means this minus 4 should become 0 by using this R3 only. Let us make this 0 by using its previous third row. So what is the transformation you can use? See this. R4 implies R3, that is 16. Let us multiply this by 4. 4 into, see this 4, 16. 16 minus 16, 0. So I can use this transformation. See this. 16 minus 16, 0. And here also 16 minus 16, 0. So the last row is completely 0. Just leave this. And if you look at this, this is the principal diagonal, right? And you can notice that the elements below the principal diagonal are zeros. So this is said to be in echelon form, and you can count By leaving this, if we count, there are 3 non-zero rows. So the rank of a matrix is 3. So this is how we can find the rank of a matrix. So one of the most important concept here, so which will be used in many other cases. This echelon form, reducing a matrix to echelon form is one of the most important concepts, which will come once again in Gauss elimination method, Gauss Jordan, etc. Next. Similarly, we'll solve one more problem. Find the rank of a matrix. A similar procedure. A is equal to this. So now this is a given matrix. 2, 3, minus 1, minus 1. 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 4. 3, 1, 3, minus 2. So now this is the leading entry. Let us keep as it is, and we'll make these two zeros using row operations. What we can use? R1. This is 1 now, multiply by 2. So 1 into 2, 2. Let us subtract 2 minus 2. It becomes 0. So this transformation I'll use. R2 implies R1 minus 2 times R2. And next R3. So here we have 3, here we have 2. What we can use? 3 times of this minus 2 times of this. See, 3 times of this means 3 into 2, 6. 2 times of this means 2 into 3, 6. So 6 minus 6, I can write 0. So these are the true transformations we can use. Now we can apply. See, first row I'm writing as it is 2, 3, minus 1, minus 1. Now if you apply this, see, you are multiplying this row with 2. So this is 2, minus 2, minus 4, minus 8. And subtract 2 minus 2, 0. Now this is 3 minus of minus plus 2. 3 plus 2, 5. Next, see, minus 2 into this minus. So it is plus 4. 4 minus 1, 3. Now see, minus 4 into minus 2. Minus 4 into minus 2 plus 8. 8 minus 1, 7. Now multiply this by 3, write separately. 3 by this means 3 2s are 6, and here 2 3s are 6. 6 minus 6, 0. And here 3 into this 3, 9. 9 minus 1 into 2, 2. 9 minus 2, 7. And similarly, 3 into minus 1, minus 3. Minus 3. 3 into minus 2 is minus 6. See, minus 3 minus 6, you get minus 9. See, now last term, 3 into this minus 1, you get minus 3. Minus 2 into minus 2 is plus 4. So 4 minus 3, 1. So this is the first stage. Now after this, as usual, we concentrate on second row. So the leading entry of the second row is second element. This is the second element here. So this should be non-zero. So here we have 5. It is a non-zero element. So by keeping this as it is, we'll make element below this leading entry 0. That means 7. Using row operation. I mean, you should operate this third row with second row only. So what is the operation? See this. Let us multiply this by 7. So 7 into 5, 35. And this element by 5. So 5 into 7, 35. 35 minus 35, 0. So it is. I'll write first two rows as it is. See, this is 35 minus 35, 0. Apply the same operation for these two elements. So 7 into 3, 21. Minus into minus plus 9 into 5, 45. 45 plus 21, we get 66. Next here, 7 into 7, 49. Minus 5. 49 minus 5, 44. Now this is the last row, and below this we don't have anything. So I can stop here, and if you see this, this is the principal diagonal 2, 5, 66, and element below the principal diagonal are zeros. So I can conclude that this matrix is in echelon form. So the matrix is in echelon form. So, and it is having, see, there are 3 non-zero rows here. So therefore, the rank of a matrix is 3. So this is how we can find the rank of any matrices using row transformations. I mean, by applying row operations, we can reduce the matrix to echelon form like this. I mean, we can make all elements below the principal diagonal 0, And after that, by counting how many non-zero rows are there, you can write what is the rank. That is the row of A. Symbolic representation is this row of A. So this is the procedure of finding a rank of a matrix, which is very, very an important concept here. Now, with the same concept, we can solve 3 more problems here. First, second, and third. So find the rank of these 3 matrices. All the best. Thank you very much.